Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about how to EQ um, a vocal. Um, I'm going to start off talking about EQing an instrument, and then we're going to apply those techniques to the vocal. So if you're not familiar with what an EQ is, I'm going to just go to it right here. I have F6, right? And you'll normally see something that looks along these lines. They all kind of look the same. Basically, what this is saying, these are different bandwidths along a certain frequency range. Now, what does that mean? You look up here, you see it says 1632 all the way up to 16K, and right here is 20K. This is the frequency range of whatever you're playing, right? So this one, so if I play the instrument, hold on, I'm gonna play it. Oh wait, I got it. I'm sure I got it buzzed. Hold on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And don't mind what you see this with plugins and stuff. This is a really old song. I got much different techniques and shit now. So anyway, so okay, so let's play it. Dope Bells, produced by Cali Clap, by the way. Go check his shit out. Hold on. We're gonna switch to this F6 version of X6. Okay, so you see, it's giving me the information of where the frequencies are hitting. You know what I'm saying? So right here, this instrument is playing. The frequency range is like right in this area. So what happens is, if I were to take the bandwidth that it's at and I were to completely drop it, you no longer hear the instrument. So now you're only hearing like here and here. And if I widen up the Q of it, you won't hear it. You shouldn't hear it really much at all, right? It pretty much eliminates the noise. So just to give you an idea of what you're listening to. And similarly, if I were to take something like down here, it doesn't affect the sound at all because it's not vibrating at those frequencies. So what does all this mean? Like, why do you even need to know this shit? Basically, when you're doing subtractive EQ, the very first thing that I do, that I was taught, is I take out any frequencies that aren't in the sound. So I'll do something along the lines of like this. I might even make it a little bit deeper, and to the point where it's not affecting the instrument that's playing, right? Because I'm just cutting out the frequencies it's not using. Why? Because what happens is, when you have two instruments, let's say a kick drum and an 808, right? A kick drum and an 808 vibrate along similar frequencies. So if you play them both at the same time, it's hard to hear one over the other because they're vibrating in the same frequency range. So the reason why you cut stuff like this bell, let's say compared to a guitar, let's say this bell was on the same track as a guitar, they would both kind of be in similar ranges, and when I cut the space from one, it makes space for another. So let's say this was a guitar, right? Or let's say there was a guitar here and a bell, and there, let's just hypothetically, there's just two instruments. One is right here and one is a little bit more on this side. What I would do is I would maybe go something like this and tighten this up so that this one lives in this area, and then on the other one I might go a little bit further down and then close this side so this one lives in this area, and it's not, the frequencies aren't interfering. You'll still hear them both, but you'll hear them both more clear, right? Because they're not fighting with each other. That's basically the whole idea of subtractive and additive EQ, is you're making spaces for everything. So let's go to, like, when you, now how does this apply to the vocal? I've always been more focused on vocals just because I mainly do rap and hip hop than anything else. So when it comes to the vocal, if you see the EQ I I this is a pretty decent subtractive EQ. So I cut out I maybe cut out a little bit too much, but to cut out pretty much all of the low end that wasn't being used, and then I found spots. This is usually where the muddiness is, and then I maybe drop the mids and the high mids down a little bit so that I'm tucked in a little bit better into the beat or whatever. But basically, what I did was if I solo the vocals, and let me do this. You ready? Let's run it up. It's slowed because I did some crazy stuff with the sample rate, loading up the sample rate. But that's neither here nor there. So what I did, let me take it back to 0. Alright. The city of sinners said I wasn't in the race until I came at the winner. If I ever take an L, then you gon' wish that I didn't. I'll remind him of Gordon Ramsay when I'm up in the kitchen. So, the very first thing I usually do, I cut out my low end first. So, I'm going to play it. I ain't putting on the show. This ain't... Let me make sure I got it, circling this one part. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our cut. Let's go. Now can you tell me, are you ready? Let's run it up from the city of sinners. Said I wasn't in the race until I came at the winner. If I ever take an L, then you gon' wish that I didn't. I'll remind him of Gordon Ramsay when I'm up in the kitchen. I ain't putting on the show. So as you can see, when I get to about right here, this is all I'm cutting out stuff. And basically this is where I don't need any of this information. It's not really a lot that you can hear, but it just you cut it out because you're not really using it. This is not where the nice stuff for your voice is. So then to continue how to do the subtractive EQ, we're gonna boost the frequency, right? And this is called sweeping. So we're gonna play it again. This ain't drama class. Let the bodies hit the flow when that llama blast. And they say karma is a bitch. I remember you hated like back in high school. You told me that I'm never gonna make it. So what I did was I exaggerated a frequency in my voice that I did not like. So I boosted it right here. It's saying I'm at 240. So about 240 hertz. I don't like that. So I boosted it. I listened to it. I didn't like it, and then I dropped it -3 dB. Right, and then I basically go through each of my bandwidths and do this same that same thing over and over again until I have all the things that I want out of the vocal out. And then similarly you would do the same for instruments, and you can also do the same process but additive. Now this may look a little weird because I did this song a long time ago. I was really amateur, what's it called? Engineer. But even this might essentially make sense, depending on how it ends up sounding. So, there you go. Now can you tell me, are you ready? Let's run it up from the city of sinners. Said I wasn't in the race until I came at the winner. If I ever take an L, then you gon' wish that I didn't. I'll remind him of Gordon Ramsay when I'm up in the kitchen. I ain't putting on the show. This ain't drama class. Let the bodies hit the flow when that llama blast. And they say karma is a bitch. I remember you. So essentially I'm just doing the same thing, just in reverse. So that's subtractive and additive EQ. I'm sweeping to find frequencies I don't like, and I'm cutting them out. And then I'm sweeping to find frequencies that I do like, and I'm boosting them up. And you could do this however you want. It just the golden rule is if it sounds good, it doesn't matter what it really looks like. But generally, you will end up. I usually end up boosting somewhere in the high range. And if my voice is too tucked behind the beat, I end up boosting my mids maybe a little bit. If you want to hear how this song comes out, it's called One Take Jake by Kaleem Ali. It's already released with a music video, so you can go ahead and watch that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next